Meghan Markle is actually going through a series of other issues leading up to the reshoots for season 2, and now how it involves Taylor Swift. This is where it really does truly hit below rock bottom. This is now hitting bedrock at this point.
Meghan Markle's Netflix disaster just hit bedrock. Season 2 of With Love. Meghan is under a full-blown creative investigation for allegedly lifting entire scenes from Hell's Kitchen, Jersey Shore, Survivor, and even Pamela's Cooking with Love. And when her contract renewal for September 2025 teeters in the balance, Meghan made one last power play, dragging Taylor Swift into her Laguna Beach episode. Spoiler, Taylor snapped, and the fallout has Netflix execs scrambling in panic. What began as grumbles over underwhelming viewership has morphed into something far more serious. Allegations that, with love, Meghan. Season 2 lifted entire scenes, dialogue, and even on-camera mannerisms from a slew of high-profile reality hits.
What's interesting here, though, has a lot more to do with exactly what's been going on between both Taylor Swift and Meghan Markle in the midst of the drama related to With Love Meghan Season 2.
According to insiders, Episode 4 kicked off the alarm bells when a kitchen meltdown played out nearly identically to one of Gordon Ramsay's most infamous blow-ups on Hell's Kitchen, complete with the same rapid-fire insults and gestural flourishes. By the time the creative review team dug into Episodes 6 and 7, Netflix execs say they found uncanny parallels to Jersey Shore, from the beach house banter to the sideways glances and pointed one-liners.
Now, we already know that this season in particular basically is only being called a season 2 to create a facade, that this series basically was all the more successful than it's made out to be, right?
Even more damning was a cooking segment that staffers claim mirrored Pamela's Cooking with Love so closely. Same dish inventory, same playful recipe-running commentary, that Netflix lawyers worried about clear infringement. One anonymous producer described it as a scene-for-scene homage that crossed the legal line. Netflix's standards team quickly convened emergency meetings. This wasn't mere inspiration, it was wholesale reenactment. With copy-and-paste precision suspected across multiple episodes, the company refused to let it slide as a simple creative flub. Instead of an internal memo or marginal script tweaks, Netflix green-lit a company-wide review of every frame, dialogue track, and shot sequence.
Over her Netflix series, and also after she was rejected by Amazon MGM Studios, one significant development going on now involves more to do with her issues over at Netflix, where she recently did the unthinkable that is already creating more chaos at Netflix HQ.
From story editors to legal counsel, no one was spared the task of cross-referencing Markle's footage against the original reality shows. And yet, even after these startling discoveries and the mounting legal concerns, the investigation itself was only the beginning of a crisis that would soon engulf Netflix's boardroom, on-set morale, and Markle's entire Hollywood trajectory. It all began around Episode 4 when a meltdown scene played out almost frame for frame, like Gordon Ramsay's most infamous kitchen blow-up. Insiders say the cadence, the exact words, even the hand gestures matched perfectly. By Episode 7, allegations had ballooned. Jersey Shore-style one-liners, cast interactions mimicking MTV's original reality crew, and then came Malibu, a beach sequence featuring dramatic pacing, tearful confessions, and staged serendipity straight out of Survivor. According to people familiar with the review, Netflix lawyers compared both versions side by side and found the parallels too precise to dismiss as homage.
Now it turns out, get this, that this is exactly why she is now in talks with Katy Perry to have her on season 2 to cook while discussing her time in space, and to also sing on Laguna Beach. Those conversations are still going on as we speak. However, Taylor already gave Meghan a serious warning to never bother her again about her, of course, getting involved with Love Meghan Season 2.
Each new find piled fuel on the fire, transforming what could have been internal feedback into a crisis that threatened legal exposure. And yet, not everyone at Netflix agreed on how to respond. Inside Netflix's glass-walled offices, Ted Sarandos and Greg Peters found themselves on opposite sides of a brewing storm. Sarandos, still backing Markle's star power and the traffic a controversy could drive, argued for damage control strategies that kept production moving. Peters, however, reportedly refused to approve a third season, convinced that cutting losses was the only way to protect Netflix's reputation. The result? A reshoot mandate that was supposed to span 2 weeks stretched into a 6 to 7 week ordeal. Scripts were torn up, entire scenes rewritten, and cast members quietly distanced themselves. Morale hit rock bottom as editors raced to replace flagged footage, and producers scrambled to salvage what remained. Yet even that upheaval couldn't stop the mounting industry backlash. Word of the Netflix probe spread fast, and rival studios recoiled. Amazon and MGM officially passed on Markle's podcast proposal. HBO stopped returning her calls. Streaming services once eager for a Markle collaboration now whisper about too much drama. Meanwhile, Netflix's legal team fretted over potential lawsuits. Gordon Ramsay's production company, MTV, even Bravo could claim rights violations. With budgets already ballooning between celebrity guest fees, lavish sets, and multi-week reshoots, execs quietly estimated the project might recoup less than half its cost. A handful of investors muttered about sunk costs, speculating that first-degree plagiarism suits could demand multi-million-dollar settlements. The once glamorous celebrity-led series was fast turning into a liability that no one outside Netflix wanted to touch. Amid mounting pressure, Meghan's team swung into damage control overdrive. Rather than lying low, Markle dropped a self-recorded video, no Netflix branding, just her in a softly lit room, denouncing the scandal as deeply exaggerated and driven by personal agendas. She framed herself as a creative visionary unfairly targeted by powerful men in suits. But the missive backfired. Critics labeled it tone-deaf, rehearsed, and deflective. Leaked clips then surfaced, showing Markle's show ripping off a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills argument down to the wine toss moment. YouTube channels and TikTok reaction videos dissected every frame, racking up millions of views. Fans who once rallied to her cause began posting, "I wanted to believe you, Meghan, but this is too much, and why copy Jersey Shore in 2025? It wasn't just a PR hiccup, it was a viral spectacle that left Markle's reputation more battered than ever. Just when it seemed impossible to sink lower, Taylor Swift entered the fray. In a bold and risky attempt to salvage Season 2's credibility amid intensifying backlash, Meghan Markle personally reached out to Taylor Swift. Not once, not twice, but 3 separate times, with a carefully crafted pitch. According to multiple insiders, Meghan's team proposed a Laguna Beach cameo framed as a moment of female solidarity and public reconciliation, designed to project unity and empowerment in the face of adversity. The hope was simple. Swift's unmatched global influence would shift the narrative and drown out the plagiarism scandal with star-powered positivity. But things didn't go as planned. Swift's camp, known for guarding her brand with precision, wasn't swayed by the emotional appeals or the promise of millions in exposure. Instead, their response was swift and brutal. "Stop bothering us," a source quoted them as saying. "We're not interested in anything phony, chaotic, or reputationally risky." One Netflix executive reportedly described the exchange as the coldest door slam in Hollywood this year. Internally, the rejection was catastrophic. Markle, who had staked a major creative gamble on Swift's involvement, was said to be deeply rattled, and emergency meetings were convened within hours. With the Swift play dead in the water, producers scrambled for alternatives. Katy Perry quickly surfaced as a backup. Rumor has it she's in talks to appear in a sunset cooking and song segment on Laguna Beach. But even that option, while flashy, has drawn skepticism. As one senior Netflix strategist put it, if you're turning to Katy Perry to fix a credibility problem, you've already lost control of the ship. The rejection from Taylor Swift didn't just derail a casting idea, it symbolized a broader shift. Markle wasn't just losing collaborators, she was losing the A-list silent support. And with that silence came a chilling realization. The clock on her Hollywood redemption arc had officially started ticking. Facing sealed studio doors, Markle announced her own content studio, funded partly by private investors and her own savings, promising real stories from unheard voices. First on the slate, a docuseries about overcoming public adversity, starring herself. But development execs reportedly balked, calling it too closely tied to the Netflix fiasco. As big platforms hesitated, Markle considered a grassroots reality show, camera crew style with no middlemen. Yet without a major network, such projects risk obscurity. Industry veterans whisper that her brand may never recover. A pattern of deflection and legal risk has left executives gun-shy. And that leads us to the final question. From blockbuster launch to internal smear probe, from reshoot nightmares to a stinging Taylor Swift refusal, Meghan Markle's streaming star has dimmed faster than anyone anticipated. Now, as Netflix quietly shelves With Love, Meghan, and the industry closes ranks, the once undeniable power of her name feels precarious. Can she rewrite her narrative, or is this the defining scandal that eclipses her entire Hollywood journey? Only time will tell, but one thing's clear. In a world where every frame can be compared and every rumor amplified, Markle's next move must be as bold as it is authentic.